So guys, today as you can see I've got a cameraman, Kenny Gaughan from Galway. Legend, thank you very much. And the reason I have a cameraman today is because the Des Bishop, comedian, man of the people, legend, rapper, book writer, excellent erudite comedian, is coming in and he's going to visit the tent before he does a gig tonight in N.U.I.G. It's a very annoying alarm. Right, let's go.
Hey man.
You're a gentleman.
Nice to meet you properly after all these tweets.
Yeah, sorry, we've been hassling him with tweets.
I apologize, but I'm dressed for the gig. This is not my normal tent clothes, but we'll do our best.
It's a good man. Well, I'll show you where it is anyway. Nobody else will know, but it's good.
I like having brolly.
So it's just in here, it is. In between this is my front door here.
I mean, I didn't realize this is what we were getting into. That I was heading into the Shire. It's very hobbitish. I'm glad I wore my suit. But I'm not like a suit wearer. I'm actually like a tracksuit wearer. But I just didn't. I knew I wouldn't have anywhere to change. Yeah. For the gig.
Make yourself at home, man. Welcome, Des.
Thanks. I'd give you my right arm, but I'm using it to support myself.
There's a good chance here that we may not get out of here live.
It's very intimate.
It's a little like kind of Halloween-y.
You're lucky that I'm a comedian that's comfortable with his sexuality. Otherwise, people would be like, "Why have you taken me into the woods to a tent with a lot of night lights on?"
Yeah, well, you're very welcome, man.
Yeah. This is like the Blair Witch with no ghost.
Nice. It is a bit fucked up. Look at this guy.
Well, that's my fault. This is your Halloween special a week after Halloween, so.
Oh, you were busy. You're a busy man. Well, tell us this, Des. This looks like something you might do. Would you ever spend a little time in the tent to make a documentary of it?
No, I mean, I like putting myself into situations, but putting myself into a tent, no. I'm actually curious, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, what's your mission? Is you're going to do this for the full college year, yeah?
Well, this would be the first time I admit it, but yeah, I am. I'm going for the full year.
The full year, yeah. And like, what's the purpose?
I don't know. Well, what's the purpose in doing that?
Is it more for you, or are you trying to highlight an issue?
Well, first of all, I'm here because I don't really have money for rent. But the real reason I'm doing it is because I see life as this very short game that you need to enjoy and have fun with. And that's why I'm here. Like, there's 1,000 reasons that feed into it, but really it's just because I could live on a friend's couch, but what would I learn from that, you know?
Yeah. Well, how do you end up with no money? For rent?
It's fairly easy. I was self-employed in Mexico with a friend of mine.
Right.
And
self-employed in Mexico.
Sounds pretty good.
We're learning some things.
This is
self-employed in Mexico, and then HSBC got busted for laundering the money, so I found myself unemployed.
Yeah, things got. I'll have money and whatever when I finish college. It's like I'm physically capable and mentally more or less there. So.
Okay, no, sorry. I just want to get it clear. I want to get it clear because I want to know exactly what's going on in this tent. How do you pay your fees?
Yeah, well, I borrowed money to pay my fees.
You borrowed money from the bank?
Yeah, and
so you're not getting any money off your parents?
No, I borrowed money from my parents.
Okay, yeah.
Which is kind of something that I didn't want to do, but I had to. But I'll pay them back. I made the last two videos actually before this one goes out.
Yeah.
The last two videos that I made have paid for my fees. So as a result of living in a tent, I got a load of commissions to make videos.
Oh.
So it's sweet.
People commissioned you to make
some other videos. So as a result of just living in a tent, somebody said, "Oh, look, he's a mad bastard. Let's give him a job."
No, your edits are good, I have to say.
Thanks, man.
But so how do your parents feel about the fact that you're highlighting the fact that you have no money for rent? Obviously, therefore suggesting that they're not giving you money for rent.
Nah, well, I've made it. I've done a fair amount of media press for this, and in everything I do say that they offer me money all the time. But it's like they're in their 60s and 70s. Why would I take? It's their time to relax. I can do this. This is fun. I just feel like this is like what you're supposed to do in life. Why would you know?
But anyway, I was just curious.
Wait, back onto you. Stop now, because
no, because to be honest, people asked me. They were like, "What's the story with this guy in a tent? Like, why is he doing it?" Yeah. So I was curious, but I figure if people are curious, then, like, if people are curious asking me, then they must want to know exactly what's going on for you.
Well, it would be very easy for me to jump on hey, I don't have money, I need more, like, I could ask the government for stuff. And yes, there are people who need money and help from the government. I don't particularly need it, and I find this funny, and I like the idea of doing it.
I like
That's
it too.
why I'm doing it, yeah.
I like it. I have to say, being here now, I like it even more. I prefer if you were,
Yeah, female.
I prefer if you were like Michelle Doherty doing this.
Yeah.
I wish Michelle Doherty was doing this.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's absolutely fine.
I had the girlfriend in last week. She enjoyed it.
Oh, you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh man.
All of a sudden you seem a little more relaxed.
No. Yeah, I'm not concerned. You don't creep me out at all. But how does she feel about all this?
She kind of likes it. I think women like kind of the capable man who can deal with any fucking situation he's put in. So she liked it. She didn't like shitting in the woods. No, I'm joking.
Oh, she doesn't have a schedule like you have? No. she hasn't timed it to using the college facilities?
Yeah, no, she had to...
For the record, I love shitting in the woods.
It's very relaxing.
Once I have toilet paper, I love it.
Why?
You know why? Because you're never able to hear the sound of your own shit hitting the floor. It's very relaxing. It just makes pooing seem so much more real.
This is not where I thought the interview. This is not where I thought the interview.
Well, this is the stuff that matters when you're in a tent. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I have ridiculous digestive system. I shit a lot. So like one of my first thoughts was like, what is he doing for the shitting? And I think
everyone thinks that. And then the other one, the more sinister side is, what is he doing when his girlfriend's not coming down? They want to know about that. But I don't go into that.
That's even better outside.
Yeah, well, let's
I absolutely love doing that outside. That's a cracker. Yeah. Wipe it on a tree. Yeah. It's really fun. It's like going back to nature.
Yeah. Well, this is the PG rating's gone on this on this interview straight away. Now back to you, Des. Before we get too caught up, I want to ask you. You're doing something in China. What is it?
Oh well, I'm just going to China for a year. Hopefully, I mean it's a complicated process getting it organized, but we certainly have the initial all clear to go to China to learn Chinese.
Yeah.
And do some stand-up in Chinese at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because, well, I made this thing in Abracadabra years ago, and I got really friendly with some Chinese guys.
Nice.
And I went over there to visit them, and I just became a little bit obsessed with China. It's a very unique place.
Yeah.
So after I learned the Irish language, I was thinking, you could do this now in China, but that was a long time ago, and it took me 4 years to get it off the ground. So now I'm going to go live in Beijing with a family.
Nice.
And learn Chinese.
These things take a lot of time to get them going, right?
They take a lot of time, yeah.
Right.
Because obviously you have the experience of saying I'll set up a tent and I'll start making some videos, which of course I could have done as well, but that would be a big time commitment to go to China for a year, and I have to get visas. It's just much easier to do it the official way. So it is a full commitment.
And I imagine you can tell me to leave you alone now in a while, but I imagine financially you're a headliner here in Ireland. You're commanding, I imagine, quite a good price for a gig, and now you're going to take that hit to do this. So in a way, it's kind of admirable because you're not just chasing the money, right?
Well, no, I mean I'm not chasing the money, but I'm chasing the money is a major bonus.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've made pretty good money over the years, to be honest. Like I wouldn't try to hide that. I'm comfortable.
He's wearing golf shoes that are worth more than my whole life.
I put on my golf shoes to not get soaked, but I'm comfortable. But at the same time, my drive has never really been about the money. It's been about doing good and interesting stuff. And to be honest, I fluked. The work experience was a fluke. It was actually somebody else's idea, and she asked me to do it.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be really good.
Clever move, man.
Yeah, but it turned out to be really good, and it showed me that there's a value in, having an experience and then talking about it through stand-up. So essentially, that's all I learned about it through doing the work experience, and then I've been sort of doing that again since, taking experiences that matter to me, like working with guys in bad neighborhoods or learning the Irish language, or even in a way dealing with my father's terminal illness, and then talking about it and standing all the time. It's been like taking a real experience and trying to be funny about it
without trying to take this interview into too dark or a sad path, man. That was literally one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
There's nothing dark about praise.
No,
nothing dark about praise.
No, we leave it on that. But anybody who hasn't seen that documentary, I think some asshole has probably put it up on YouTube at the moment, but you can probably buy it as well. It's absolutely...
Some asshole has put it up on YouTube, and that asshole is me. Yeah. I put it up on YouTube.
Des Buffers is YouTube.
Des Buffer is my YouTube, and I just want people to see it because my father loved the fact that it existed.
Here's one for you. Oh, no, please, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was going to say, here's a funny one for you. On Twitter, you've close to 60,000 followers.
No, I have 70,000.
70,000.
Trying to shortchange me.
Yeah, 70,000 followers. On YouTube, I've got more subscribers than you. How does
That's-
that make you feel?
It's absolutely fine. I've never really got into that.
Yeah.
I've never got into the YouTube side of it.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm not I chuck up the odd thing on YouTube. I'm not a big like the way guys on YouTube are like, if you like this, subscribe. These guys that are like, hey, you like
That sounds a bit like me, to be honest.
But that's fine. It's almost generational in a way, like even though I do like putting stuff on YouTube, I haven't completely immersed myself in YouTube culture.
Right.
But I like watching YouTube videos, and it doesn't bother me when guys are like, subscribe, or like, you should check out my friend, A15875, whatever.
Yeah.
Those guys are fine with me, but it's not really my bag, Well, I'm live. Live is my main
He's
thing.
live right now, and he's absolutely killing it. I'm new to this whole interview game, but you can definitely carry an interview, Des. Well done.
Interviewing is just about chatting, man.
Yeah.
You're good at it.
well,
I
you
thought
make-
you
you
did
make
that
it very
interview with
relaxed.
Buzz. I thought the interview with Buzz was good.
He's
and
funny, man.
Yeah, but you're good too, man. You're great. You have to. I think you know what you've heard the expression analysis paralysis, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you can just think about things too much. Like I'm not saying
Yeah,
you,
yeah, no.
but like
Oh, I
one can, and
Yeah.
I think possibly you have a smidge of the analysis paralysis.
They used to call me Motorhead because
Right.
I'd overanalyze everything.
Yeah.
All those people who put me
No, but you're good. Yeah, I think you're good at it. If you can chat, you can do an interview.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I had a few ideas that I did want to ask you because I think they're really kind of interesting just to the viewer, because I could ask you blah blah blah, what are you doing, how much money, blah, I did actually. But what I do want to ask is, people ask me what my end game is and what my trajectory is, but I don't really have one. I just know that when I see something I want to do, I do it, and that seems to work for me. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, I mean that's the same for me. I don't have like an end game or anything.
Yeah.
Like when I started doing comedy, my only ambition really was to get sort of well known enough that I could like fill Vicar Street. I didn't know how that was going to happen.
Nice, man.
Nobody knew how that was going to happen back then.
But
Tommy.
what do you do now that you've done that?
Yeah.
What's
so
the new goal like?
well, the new goal really is to just China's my next major thing.
Yeah.
And like that is a very interesting thing that I want to do. So I guess if you look at it in terms of what's different about that, like I've never done anything outside of Ireland for starters, like other than, stuff I did with my own family. So like it's the first thing I'm doing outside of Ireland. It's kind of like an international project rather than an Irish project. So, I'm looking forward to taking my sort of, I do stand up all the time outside of Ireland.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to taking, like a proper project outside of Ireland and seeing how people respond. But like, it's not the end game of like, I want to get huge in China or anything.
No.
I really liked the experience of learning Irish and doing stand-up in a new language, to be honest. Like, outside of everything else, outside of the TV show, outside of what it meant for people, blah, 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 its success or otherwise, I just liked learning a language and then doing stand-up in it.
Nice.
There's a lot of power in that. So I'm just looking forward to, like, learning a language and doing stand-up in it. But in this case, nobody knows who I am, so it's a greater challenge. It's not like your man Des Bishop is trying to learn Irish. It's just like some dude who sounds American but says he's Irish is trying to learn Chinese. And when he shaves his head, looks like a David Beckham. That's what they say. When myself and my brother, I guess like not all Chinese people look the same, but like so the stereotype is just like, oh, they look the same. And I just wonder sometimes, do we just look the same to them a little bit?
Yeah.
Because myself and my brother were over there, and every taxi driver was like, oh, David Beckham. Like they think you look like David Beckham. Yeah. So I assume that for some Chinese people it'll be like, why is David Beckham learning Chinese to do stand-up in Chinese?
What about the States then? Do you think, is that something you'd like to take on? Or is that something you do that anyway? You do go over there for gigs?
I know, I gig over there and I've done it before. But to be honest, it's all about time, like I go over there and they're always like, you gotta stay here, man, you got a great story, and I don't know what I'm putting. I don't have to put on an accent. It's where I'm from. But like people like it, and I like when my dad was sick. I was back in New York a lot. I was doing a lot of clubs in New York, and it was going great. The one from the Comedy Cell, this lunatic Israeli woman, was just like, "You gotta stay." She was like pushing me to stay.
Yeah.
But like, I live in Ireland. Like Ireland is my life. I have no desire to completely uproot myself again. Like long term, I know I'm doing it for a year in China, but like that's for a project that I want to do. I have no desire to uproot myself and try to establish myself as a stand-up in another place, because I love my life in Ireland and I love working here and I love popping across to the UK. You know what I mean? So it's just not like, it's not necessary. If it happened by accident, that would be fine. But like, I grew up in New York and I live here and I know what it's like to be an American, and I don't have any desire really to go back there. I'm a European now, you know.
That triggers something I actually wanted to ask you, and this is actually I'm glad you said that. One thing is, it's like when you came over here, I think you were 14 first.
14, yeah.
14 years of age, and you had to integrate at one of the most awkward. I would say people would say adolescent, a hard time to integrate, right?
But for me, it was particularly awkward, yeah.
And it's almost as if, and I could be wrong, to try and put you in a box. So I don't think anyone should be put in a box. But it's almost as if you're trying to replicate that, or you do that again because it's you're very good at it. You obviously integrated, and then you put yourself in other societal or anthropological exploits, and then you try and integrate again.
Well, it's a very, very astute perception of yours.
Thank you.
Because when I'm asked, sometimes people say, "Why do you do these things?" You know, like, why do you do these documentaries the way that you do them? I say, well, actually, that's a skill that I developed, unfortunately, as a result of having to sort of adapt to a new society on my own at 14 without my parents. And I lived in, like, my cousin's house, and I stayed with friends, and all the time I was, you know, like, fitting in.
Yes.
You know, I actually called one of my shows Fitting In,
Nice.
which actually on a deeper level was basically what I've been doing since I came here at 14. So I have whether it's a skill or experience of doing that works. So it is, I don't know if I'm trying to, if you could look at it in a deeper way, the way you're saying it, and say, subconsciously, like an abused, you know, like the abused person becomes the abuser or keeps putting themselves back in a position of abuse. You could look at it in a sense of like, oh, you had this trauma and you're trying to relive the trauma, or you could look at it as,
you know what you're doing.
well, yeah, it's just I'm good at it, and I guess inspired by it. You know, like I was inspired by my experience of coming to Ireland. It's sort of it was the motivation for a lot of my early material. I've been inspired by my experience of learning Irish and sort of adapting to life there, and you know, again, I'm going to repeat it.
Nice, man. Now, just to kind of wrap up the interview, I could talk to you all day, but I just want to wrap it up on something kind of insightful and good for the viewers. So, if you had to, and I'm sure you're going to humbly back away from this, but if you had to advise people on how to grab life by the testicles and fucking...
That's
No, that wasn't planned. That wasn't planned.
maybe.
That wasn't planned.
First of all, I suggest if somebody wants to grab life by the testicles, I would suggest checking them first to make sure they don't have any lumps.
Okay.
And then once you don't have any lumps, then complete the question.
Okay. Well, basically, what advice would you give people, all these people who are going to be going out into the real world, young ones, you know, just to seize the day, or what would you tell them?
Oh God, I mean, I don't know. It's so different for every person, you know. Like, if I met somebody like you, I'd say keep doing what you're doing. You know, you just like
maybe wash a bit more.
Nah, well, I don't know. Where do you shower?
In the gym.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Then I would say use the gym before you shower. That's healthy. But no, I mean, it really depends. You know, like I don't have any. There's like this great advice. Johnny Vegas was once asked, what advice would you give comedians? But I actually think his answer was great for life in general. And he said, persistence without expectation, which I think is great advice, because obviously the other great saying is expectation is just premeditated resentment. You know, because you can't really plan the results. Like, you know, all you can do is take action. So like I would just suggest to people to take action on whatever it is they feel they need to do. And then let that energy drive you.
Sounds good, man. That kind of goes with my don't think, just live, you know. Don't think too much. Think a little bit. You know, you don't want to be walking into walls, but just live in general. Des.
Thanks, man.
You're a gentleman.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Finally made it to the tent.
So now, Des, just before you go, portwest.ie gave me some hoodies with all my GLOWPUNK stuff on it, and that's for you. I hope you wear it.
They gave you that says GLOWPUNK on it?
Yeah.
My God, yeah, I've been on TV for years. I never get free shit.
So without further ado, I'll introduce our comedian for the evening, Mr. Des Bishop.
Oh, thanks.
I just want to give you one thing. I've got it. It's not a willy. 1 second. This will be cut.